Well, hello everybody and welcome to this year's Global Brainstorm. How exciting. It's Global Entrepreneurship Week. There's events going on all around the world in 140 or more countries. People are coming together to celebrate entrepreneurship. And here in the UK, we're actually looking at this theme of getting connected. So in the spirit of getting connected, we are here today to connect 7 people who have come from different parts of the world with different experience, with a wealth of knowledge to share. And we're really going to get into what does this getting connected mean? Certainly when we ran the Global Brainstorm in 2012, we actually found that connections and credibility are what entrepreneurs need to know in order to succeed. So credibility is the confidence, the badges of approval, the testimonials, the sort of belief the market gives you, and indeed the belief you give yourself. But connections, that's something we're here to talk about today. So I'm going to introduce the panel. I'm going to jump straight into the weather forecast way of thinking and working. We're deciding whether to do one thing, whether to do another, or whether to do something completely different. And we're using metaphors of the weather. Now, if you want to know more about the weather forecast, by all means, visit either theglobalbrainstorm.com or theweatherobservatory.com for more information. In the meantime, let's start with the lay of the land, our current situation. So how do we all actually feel about getting connected? Now, perhaps I can bring in Placida, who is a big connector. She runs a network of women in business, and she's also very active online in terms of building connections so as to really help women build up their businesses. So P, how are you feeling about getting connected at the moment?
Well, I love getting connected. I love being in something like this because you get to meet people from all over the world. And I think there's someone from America, India, it's beautiful just being connected. And that's one of the things that I share with the women in my community. It's all about communication. It's all about collaboration. It's all about, that connection. And that's what makes business work today. In the past, you kind of hide away. But these days, you can't hide. You've got to put your picture out there. You've got to make friends like you'd make friends if you went to a live networking event. So connection is what's making the world go around these days. And I think, everyone should tap into it. So yeah, I'm in for it big time.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And Nicole, you also have a wealth of experience helping startup entrepreneurs. How do you feel about getting connected right now?
Well, I think getting connected is all about passion. It's about passion for what you do. That helps you to find the right connections, because you'll also find people who are passionate either in some small way or some, large way about what you're doing or what some of your entrepreneurs are doing.
Great. And excuse me scribbling and turning my back to everybody, but absolutely about bringing your passion in line with what it is you're doing. Gaurav, you're from India. Your microphone's currently on mute, but no doubt you'll unmute it. You're also building a network of young entrepreneurs, and I've seen over the last 2 or 3 years how you've really started to get focused and get connected in the right places. Certainly you reached out to me via Facebook, I think it was originally, and that's how we've built a connection. So what does get connected mean to you?
Actually, getting connected is very special to me because at such a young age, when I started 3 years back, I was 19 that time, and getting connected to right people was a big lesson to me. And people like you helped me to get realistic goals and learning from getting connected. Now today also, diversification and globalization, I'm meeting new people. So getting connected builds trust in each other. It's very special to me.
Fantastic. And whilst I scribble that up there, let me also talk to David about getting connected.
My experience here is as much as your own vibrations are high, the better the connections are rolling in. So my experience is the age of the lone wolf is long gone. Depending on the values that people have, when you are congruent, when you are reliable, when you are honest, and when you radiate the best you that you can be, then everything is falling just into place and the right people are shining in your life, just following a natural law. That's my experience.
Very profound. Emma, I see you're nodding. I'll jump back to you. Emma is a leading children's author, or soon to become a leading children's author. She's a published children's author with some fantastic children's books. But actually, your main line of work, should I say, Emma, is in promoting other people's businesses. The business promoter is your business, and that means that you're naturally a networker and a connector. What do you have to say?
And I think what David said is very close to my heart. I think it's about people facing the self-truth, their self-truth, and having the courage to be themselves, because people connect with people, people buy from people. So unfortunately, people need to stop worrying and have the courage to be themselves, really. Courage to be self-truthful.
And what are you seeing in terms of connections at the moment, in the way things are currently, the lay of the land as it currently stands?
It's a very interesting question, one that could take quite some time to answer, but I think the main issue in business today is people are so time deficient. So whether I'm trying to get through to the BBC or the Telegraph or Condé Nast, these days, people just don't even bother having their direct lines voicemail mechanism working. So once I do get through to people, then of course I get great results for my clients. But it is just getting people to have the courage to face their self-truth and enabling people to have a little bit more time to do it.
Fantastic. Thank you. And Alex, let me come to you. Alex, you and I connected many years ago, 7 years ago I think it was. I was selling my saucepans on a stand. You were selling helicopters, I believe, at the time. It was around this time of year, Christmas, and we were both freezing cold outside together for a majority of a month. And actually, through social media, you live the other side of the world. Through social media, we're able to keep those connections alive. So you're currently working very much at the forefront of this. What do connections mean to you?
I believe that connections are the, I don't know how to 100% explain it, but connections are the only tools we have as humans to create change. Create a connection, share a task or share a goal, and shift and create change. So this exponentially happening faster because of the digital age. So
social media, we're able to keep those connections alive. So you're currently working very much at the forefront of this. What do connections mean to you? I'm not sure what's happening here.
I believe that connections are the, I don't know how to 100% explain it, but connections are the only tools we have as humans to create change. Create a connection, share a task.
I think somebody's probably got the window open in the background as well.
So this, exponentially happening
Playing the track as well. We seem to be hearing ourselves twice. Could everyone please just mute their microphones?
Yes. Okay.
Connections are I don't know how to 100% explain it, but connections are the only it's like doing a loop.
Alex, could you just mute your microphone?
Connection, share. No, not on the mobile phone.
Got the window open in the background as well?
Not sure, no.
Hang on. If you just mute your microphone, Alex, at the top in the middle.
Let's see.
Okay. We seem to have connected back with her. We seem to have connected back with ourselves again, I believe.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes.
let's switch mindsets now. Thanks very much for that. Let's consider this context of getting connected. on one of those beautiful sunny days, on a day when it literally feels like things are going our way. So what's happening? Who are we getting connected to? How are we getting connected? I'm going to come back to David on this one. David, I didn't introduce you properly earlier. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about your background, what it is that you've been doing? I know that you've recently been a best-selling author, so perhaps you could tell us your field of interest and indeed what's happening in terms of connections on a sunny day.
Thank you very much. Then let's go for it right now, as the sun is shining everywhere I look. I am an NLP trainer since 1996, hypnotherapist and business coach. And one of my main topic of interest is to filter the mindset of the highly successful people, to give those mindsets step by step with a clear blueprint for everybody to apply the mindset of a highly successful person. And what happens on a sunny day? A sunny day is a sunny day where I am just enjoying and harvest the joy of the present moment and experience myself completely mindful. And what always gives me the best feedback is to perform everything that I do with a love, as if the destiny of the universe would depend on how I do it. Whether I do the dishes, whether I bind my shoes, whether I am eating, just being in the now, harvesting the joy of the present moment, being mindful and infusing as much love into every single thing that I do, as if the universe depends on how I do it.
Fantastic. Thank you. That's a beautiful answer. Emma, on a beautiful sunny day, how are connections working in your world?
Well, on a beautiful sunny day, of course, everybody's moods are affected positively, and so are their modes. So when it's a sunny day, you definitely notice that people are in a much happier frame of mind. And I think it's people's moods which really affect their decision making. So yeah, sunny days are always great for getting the best results. There's no question of that.
Thank you. And Gaurav, on a day when everything's going your way, how's getting connected working for you?
Connection on sunny day is one great thing I want to tell. It must be you remember Celia, when 3 years back when we connected, I was not having so much realistic goals. I was just giving a hey mission and creating a normal events. But now going my way, meeting new people, it's happening that whatever decisions I take, people are with me. People are following my dreams. People are coming with us. So a sunny day, I can say the vision is same between two persons when you network and get connected.
Fantastic.
Mutual understanding.
Yeah, I think that's great. Nicole, what would your sunny day be?
Oh, a sunny day in getting connected would be having put out some seeds of connection, whether that be in just a passing hello with other people, whether it's in a larger, wider, more specified connection. A sunny day would be watching that seed start to sprout and to grow in a sort of cohesive way with others, and watching those grow together, so that you're actually creating an atmosphere where everything is becoming more fertile, and that's really the fantastic sunny day for me.
Fantastic.
Watching something
grow. Placida, your sunny day in terms of getting connected.
Well, I was just listening to everyone, and I could have this picture in my head. My sunny day is in a conference of maybe 200 women, celebrating, rejoicing because we have achieved our goals throughout the day, the conference day, and the fact that we're women empowering other women and spreading the light in the world. And so I can just picture us screaming, shouting, and like, wow, hands clapping, and just rejoicing, and that's the sunny day of being connected. Because imagine yourself in a room of 200 women dancing and rejoicing. That's great. So that's what's in my head right now. I'm just seeing myself dancing and rejoicing with all these women and saying, wow, we're doing it, we're changing the world, we're spreading our light, and we're making impact.
Fantastic. And of course, it is that ability to come together on a sunny day with, everybody's hearts and minds aligned towards whatever the bigger passion is, so that we start to make it happen faster. Alex, you mentioned how connections were really important to this change. On a beautiful sunny day, when things are going your way, what's happening in terms of getting connected?
On a very sunny day, you don't need to call nobody, because you happen to find them or you happen to meet them without doing it. On a sunny day, the things that should happen easily, and you feel it, that you get the right phone call from the right person, or somebody posts something you were just thinking about. This is how a sunny day looks like. Very easy. Things are happening without coordination, but there is a collaboration. So this is a sunny day.
I like that a lot, when plans just sort of come together easily and efficiently, most definitely. So now if we switch mindsets and we consider one of those grey, miserable, rainy, dark, depressive types of days, certainly here in England we've had a few of those recently. On a rainy day we notice some of the problems more, the leaks in the roof, the blocks in the drain, etc. So on a rainy day, what does getting connected start to look like? And Alex, perhaps I'll come back to you again. When things start to go wrong, what does that look like?
So I would say the opposite. Even when you find someone, you cannot find the right words to express what you're trying. You're putting a lot of effort, but nothing seems to change. You're trying to explain someone your idea, but nobody understands what you're talking about, like if you forgot the language. Other people are making noise to other directions. This is a rainy day.
That sounds pretty fair to me. Emma, what about you in terms of a rainy day?
I deliberately make my days sunny days because my job is all about communication. So what I do to combat a rainy day is I up the empathy. I really listen especially hard to people, listen to their conflicting messages within the tone of what they're saying, and just try and bring comfort to those people, because essentially all we're looking for in business is for people to cooperate with us.
Thank you. Gaurav, on a rainy day, get connected.
On a rainy day, everybody must be agreeing from the point when you are having a problem and dark side of a career is going on, people don't support you at that time, right? Everybody agrees with me, right?
Yeah.
Because the rainy day is such a day, as weather is dark, clouds are dark, at that time getting connected is very difficult, because people think that you are losing out the focus and people don't focus, and once your sunny day starts, people, the old people who is criticizing you comes back to you and starts supporting you again.
Good one. And I mean, David, I'll come to you. You perhaps agree there. We're out of line in terms of being incongruent with ourselves.
Absolutely, Celia. A rainy day for me starts as a feeling of disconnection, and those are the days when the food is just 2 minutes overcooked at the oven, where I would just have loved that the pizza is just on time. But on the other hand, it's a wonderful contrast to tell me something has moved you out of balance and something has caused the misalignment. So just reevaluate your beliefs, check what has triggered those feelings, concentrate again and come back into source connection. And I have a saying, the one person who is able to maintain the highest vibration the longest time always wins. So it's about getting back into high vibrations and enjoying the contrast that a rainy day just washes away the dirt of the night and reminds you that it's just a timely, limited feeling that will pass, as the only truth is the sun shining behind every cloud. So it's a wonderful sign to come back into alignment and to focus what can you do right now out of your present moment to let a rainy day shift again.
Fantastic. And Placida, if I come to you, I know that you and I have talked about this in the past, where I sometimes get a little bit overwhelmed by inbound and almost stop communicating outwards because the connections become a bit too much. It's almost like the rain's coming down and I just rush for shelter. What would you say on a rainy day is perhaps some of the downsides to getting connected in the way it's happening at the moment?
Okay. Well, for rainy day, rain doesn't mean bad all the time. Sometimes it means withdraw, build on what you have, and make things better. So for me, if it's a very bad day and it's raining, literally, I'm going to cuddle up, have a cup of tea or something, just warm myself up, probably take a book and read and kind of reprogram my mind and say, okay, what is the next step? What is the next plan? So in that light, if I'm having a rainy day, that's exactly what I would do. I would, go back and say, how can I make it better when it becomes sunny? So it's my planning time, it's my restructuring time, it's my masterminding time, and it's my brainstorming time. So a rainy day for me, it's a time to be quiet in myself and try to find solutions and try to see how I can make things better. And today with the internet, if you're having a rainy day, you can still connect with people because you can be at home in that your quiet time. As you get ideas, you can connect with someone, call someone, and say, "Do you know what? Let's talk. Let's see how we can make this better." Like you and I do sometimes. On rainy days, we call each other and we mastermind and we brainstorm. So it's not totally a bad day. It's still a day for new ideas to develop while you're being quiet in yourself.
Indeed, indeed. Nicole, what would you have to add?
Well, I would certainly say that there are days when you know all of your connections are not working properly, and I totally agree with David. And being disconnected, it's that feeling of disconnection, it's the feeling of not quite feeling aligned. And Placido said this as well. It's very much about those feelings of saying, okay, I'm not actually reaching out to my goals and helping people to get to where they want to go. You just feel that you're not in tune with all of that. So I think going back to that basic, withdrawing into yourself is sometimes good perspective, and seeing how you can get back towards that sunny day.
Fantastic, indeed. So the mind map is building up behind us, and we're now actually going to switch mindsets. We've looked at a sunny day, we've looked at a rainy day, and now that beautiful multicoloured arc that covers the sky in between the sun and the rain, a rainbow. And rainbows are optical illusions, so no two people ever see the same rainbow. Rainbows are beautiful, magical, multicoloured arches, a chance for us to stretch our imagination in the same way. So really using your imagination, if technology was no object, if money was no object, if you had the ability to snap your fingers and make it happen, what would we be doing to get connected in the context of if we had the ability to sit on top of a rainbow with a magic wand in our hands? Emma, perhaps I can come to you.
Yeah, I thought you'd pick on me first. Well, I would love to be able to travel remotely to all the desks of all the people that are having big problems when their vibrations are not at their optimum, not running at their optimum. I think that Placida has raised some very good points, and so has Nicole, about the need to reprogram sometimes and go and read a book and get connected again. So on a rainbow magical day, of course the word magic is in imagination, so I would love to go and fly to all the people that are having problems getting connected and sit there and make them a cup of tea.
Fantastic. Thank you. You're travelling remotely. David, in terms of what you would do with the powers of a magical rainbow.
With the powers of the magical rainbow, I would see an infinite panel of light bulbs where every being on this planet represents a single light bulb. And when there is help needed that I can provide with my expertise or skills, then this light bulb would flash, and from my heart center, there would automatically go out the appropriate energy to help that light bulb going off when I am just attracted by the next light bulb.
How fantastic! That's like one of those little lights above the in the cabins in aeroplanes when you call for the air hostess. Only this is calling for an emergency boost of heart-filled happiness.
There's confidence needed. There's positivity needed. There's comfort and consolation needed. So boom, everything going out from my heart chakra on that magical rainbow day.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Gaurav, what would you do with the powers of a rainbow?
Mentor each and every young entrepreneur in my country to get connected in the right way.
Wow. So really inspire them to start to think like entrepreneurs.
Yeah. What I have experienced till now, what I'm doing, I'm running a campaign whole India level, student entrepreneurship development. Our development comes to connecting with the right people in the right way. So
I couldn't agree more. Nicole, you know all about this. What would you be doing with the powers of a rainbow in that magical world of imagination?
Well, in the powers of the rainbow, it's almost like having a prism, and that rainbow is going around you at 360 degrees. Is that everything seems to be, beaming out the right kind of colours, messages, and that seems to be coming back into you and reflecting out again. So an ideal connecting day would be having all of those parts of those philosophies coming together, and other people being able to stretch out to something new that they hadn't actually quite been able to touch before. Would be a very rainbow day.
I like that. And mythically, rainbows have pots of gold at the bottom of them. So if we're just defining success in all of this, what are we setting as a pot of gold? What is our success?
Would that be me?
Carry on, yeah.
Okay. If I was looking for a pot of gold, if I was saying that I was helping an entrepreneur to find their pot of gold, it would be to set out what they had achieved and being able to show them that they'd taken that path and got there themselves. I think the pot of gold is actually having the perception to understand that everything in the universe has been aligned for you to be able to get there, and that you have taken that opportunity to get there. So connecting that and being able to put that both internally and externally is the pot of gold for me.
Wonderful. David, just another pot of gold from you. How would we define success in terms of getting connected?
Success to help everyone I touch to live the life that he or she wants, and to spend quality time with beloved people, to live fulfilling, abundant relationships, to be able to add the highest value that everyone can add to the planet, and to stay creative on an ongoing basis, and spend quality time with the people you love.
Absolutely. I think it does come back to that word we've written up here, which I might reinforce with red letters. Love.
Absolutely.
That's ultimately the ultimate connection, I guess.
That's a success, to be able to experience yourself as a loving person that is allowed to spread the love to others.
So again, just to reinforce, it's that self, isn't it? As well as the external connections, it's that inner connection. Get connected with yourself.
Yes.
Great. So despite the miscommunication or the interruptions with the technology, we seem to have lost Alex, sadly. Alex was going to be a really valuable contributor because he's actually been a member of Greenpeace and done all sorts of different connecting in all sorts of different ways, apart from working now as a multimedia marketing strategist online, doing lots of connecting. So it's a shame to have lost him, but I think he might have been having some connection problems. So we'll switch mindsets now. We've looked at the sun, the rain, the rainbow in between. Now, what about all of those winds that come through? Now, in the context of the weather forecast, the winds represent all of the external influences. So these are all of the other people. You know, if we're getting connected with ourselves, how do the local winds, the friends and family, the colleagues, the peers, the people we spend time with all the time, how do they affect how we get connected? And what about the prevailing winds, you know, the fashions and trends, technology, the ecology, the environment even, the economy? How does this all affect how we're getting connected? Now, Placida, I'll come to you. You know, what's really happening in terms of technology at the moment? What are the winds that are affecting our connections?
Well, technology, it's evolving every day. You know, new and new ones are coming, and it can be very overwhelming. Not it can be, it is very overwhelming, even for those who are experts, because every day you get new things coming up. It's like yesterday, I think you sent me an email to do something on LinkedIn, and I was like, another one again. You know, so it can be very overwhelming. But when you have those wins, the first thing I think you need to do is get connected with yourself. You know, if a tree is firmly rooted on the ground, no matter how difficult, how heavy the wind is, that tree wouldn't fall. So if you get connected with yourself and know who you are first, then no matter what's going on around you, you're able to stand firm and then just gradually take things slowly, what is important to you. Because if you jump at everything, then what's going to happen is that you get confused, overwhelmed, and don't progress. So take things step by step. Social media, for instance, someone said to me, how many times should I post on social media? And my answer is, don't get yourself overwhelmed. You know, so because people are posting every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes, does not mean you have to do the same thing. So start small, you know, post once a day, and then gradually twice a day, and then 3 times a day, and space it out. Make it work for you, you know, your person and the style you want to live. You don't have to do things because every other person is doing it, and you don't have to do it the way every other person is doing it. So find your voice, find yourself, get rooted in yourself, get connected in yourself. That way you're able to connect better with other people, and you're able to withstand whatever wind that is around you.
I think that's a really, really valuable point. You know, if we try to connect with too many winds, we put ourselves in line with too many winds, suddenly we're just being buffeted about all over the place, and it's impossible to steer our little sailing boat, our windsurfer, because the winds are just too strong or coming from too many different directions. So don't overwhelm yourself with too many winds. Fantastic. Gaurav, what would you say about the external influences, these winds, other people getting connected?
Now I'm taking 2 approaches towards this. One is positive and one is negative. First, I'll speak about positive. A simple example I want to give. My mom was not knowing about. She was not. Now she's an English teacher since 23 years. 33 years, but she was not knowing to operate a laptop, and so and the technology. So I taught her to operate a laptop. So it's a positive influence. What I'm creating a bond, getting connected bond between me and my mom. It is that. And second thing, negative aspect is that in India or wherever the society influential people try to listen a lot. Means like it's a gossiping. If some people are telling don't do this, so people will tell okay don't do this. A negative aspect in the wind, like we say, a negative mindset is there in the wing, and we want to. For me, I was having a goal. I want to do something, but people in my area they told what he will do. He can go as a MBA student. He should go for a job, but I decided I should stay with the right people and focus on my entrepreneur skills. What I want to do. So this is the positive and negative aspect.
Yeah, and you know that does happen. We get these icy cold gusts that come and sort of seeming to slap us around the face, no, you can't do that, and that makes us recoil in our energy. And so again, you know, we have to recognise those icy cold gusts and go looking for those warm, gentle breezes, those supportive winds that fill our sails and take us towards where we want to go. David, what would you add to this?
Celia, when it comes to the winds, I am very happy that my personal tribe, my family surrounding me, at the most important thing, my soulmate and my wife, is just the biggest supporting wind beneath my wings. So there, whenever any wind blows from directions that seem to slow me down, she is the biggest wind carrying and supporting me. So the winds are, on the one hand, how you can build a family or a personal tribe that's just supporting. And on the other hand, I experience as the other aspect of the winds, when you look at the political situation or what's happening in certain countries, people shift beliefs when they are not so very much grounded or confident inside themselves to fear and to poverty mindset and in terms of survival. So it's very much important to be selective what you focus on, and just balance yourself, take care of yourself, and cherish yourself in terms of my balance is important. A car can only drive when it has high quality fuel. So just stay away from negative aspects who just want to establish a mindset of fear or poverty or survival. And go into the nature, just enjoy the wind and use the wind as positive, supportive power, and focus on what's important.
Fantastic. Thank you. Nicole, what would you add?
I would definitely add that the winds can buffet you around, definitely. I think that when you're looking for being connected in either the right direction and you want the winds to set your sails alight and you're off on your way, you've got to be looking at the direction of the wind and where it's pushing you, because you also have to be mindful of where that wind is taking you if it's not the direction that you set out for in the first place. So my belief is very much along with David is that you must be, away or stepping away from those winds that are driving you to fear or to change your direction. And that, having great faith in yourself, being grounded, is actually going to do that very well for you.
Wonderful. Emma, what would you add to the winds?
I think it's, as everybody's said, it's very important to know that fear holds all humans back, and it's so important to have the ability to self-align and to acknowledge that there are winds coming in, and just give it the perspective that it deserves and keep having that self-belief. Self-belief is probably the most important attribute, I think, we have as human beings.
And I think just to add from what you're saying there, I mean, very, very valid. But what I see a lot of people doing through the work that I do is quite often they put anchors into other winds. So in terms of staying, aligned with yourself and what it is that you're doing, your self-belief, sometimes if we look to validate ourselves through the connections, the relationships we have with other people, it's like putting an anchor in a wind. And, when those people then, that wind whips off somewhere else, we're left feeling, very disorientated. And indeed, that's what happens when we put anchors into winds. We are not putting them into solid ground. So brilliant. Now, if we stop and switch mindsets into the final weather metaphor, the snow. So we're coming into that Christmas, wintry time of year. What actually happens when the snow sort of dumps down onto the ground around us is suddenly everything slows down. Our basic survival's brought into question. We need a hat, gloves, a thick coat, etc. And then once we've learned to survive, we actually start to thrive. The snow brings out a slightly silly side in people. So first and foremost, what is essential to the survival of connections, getting connected? Perhaps I can come to David for that one. David, what's essential when the temperatures suddenly plummet to the survival of connections and getting connected?
Very much essential for me, Celia, is to, like the other said, to just align with your source again, and first that you are never alone. on the other hand, when there is snow coming, how can you build a snowman? And what wonderful, brilliant, and silly things can you do with the snow to use all the gift that the snow provides? So with that in mind, it throws you back to your strength. Looking back, that everything that happened in the past is something that you have survived, and this is the biggest compliment that life can give you. And just going back, what I call the Little Red Riding Hood experience, go back in your mind and collect only the most positive experiences, stack them with positive emotions, and condense them, put them back into you, and make them accessible, that the snow just melts. When snow comes, it just means build a snowman, enjoy that contrast, put a big carrot and shove it into the snowman's face and smile. So the attitude of gratitude and harvesting the appreciation to just, okay, let's embrace the snow because it's something that I can use to build.
Absolutely, absolutely. Emma, when the temperatures suddenly plummet, when the snow falls, what's Get Connected need to really think about?
I mean, I absolutely agree with everything that David's saying, and I think it's important to have the peace of acceptance. To be at peace, you can't do anything about the physical weather, but you can do everything about the attitude, that the self-attitude, and to have a humble feeling about it.
Wonderful. Gaurav, in terms of if the climate suddenly changes and turns very frosty, what's important to your network and staying connected?
I have personally experienced this in my career. There has been so many ups and downs. When your weather snows down, what I have learned one thing, just be patient. Everything will be on. Be patient. Don't be what is happening. Accept what the mistakes you have done. Do a evaluation. Sit with the right people and get the right mentoring thing, and they will help you to reach forward. Because evaluation is the one thing. When snow is down, you can do one thing: being patient and evaluation.
And at the end of the day, you know, the weather always changes, the seasons move,
Yeah.
you know, there is an evolution that occurs. Very valid, thank you. Nicole, what about you?
Well, I always think that there's positivity and negativity to the snow, which may be the wrong way to be looking at it, but certainly from my point of view, that's how it is. I see it as a temporary thing. It's always a weight or a burden, an extra weight, say the whole year of snow that the North Americas just had this morning plumped on their roofs. It's that extra weight and burden that it can be, but it can also be that magical moment where, quite rightly, you're looking at, in a temporary way, you're looking at maybe how temporary are your own ideas or your own direction, and is it a good time, as Gustav was saying, to evaluate those things.
Absolutely. Placida, on a snowy day, getting connected.
Well, like David said, snow has a good part of it. So when you have a snowy day, look at the good side of the snow. And I think you would have built on the sunny, the weather changes. So build on all the weather change until you get to the snowy parts. And then by the time you get to the snowy parts, you're not so excluded from the world because you build connections. You build a tribe. So for instance, if you are a consultant, you start building a community of like-minded people and people who love your work. And so when you're in a snowy situation, you still have that connection, even though it's a snowy situation, because they're there, they love you, and they care about you. And you can still have fun even though it's snowing. So you have the carrot in the nose of the Iceman, the snowman, and all that. So it's not totally completely a bad situation if you have been building from sunny, rainy, you've been building through the different weathers. By the time you get to the snow, it doesn't really feel too bad because you can still enjoy it. I know that there are people when it's snowing, it's the worst time of the year. They don't want to come out, they don't want to do anything. But if you've been building from all the different seasons, you find out that you can enjoy the snowy season. I enjoy snows actually. I like it. The cold is there, but I do like to play in the snow. So.
Well, I mean, I love a snow. I used to live for the winter seasons when it snowed so that we could get out skiing the whole time. You know, one of the things that does happen when it's cold like that is actually a community tends to come together more. You know, we huddle
Exactly.
together. The cold, dark evenings mean you spend more time indoors sort of chatting, properly communicating, properly connecting. And in actual fact, you know, I think that that aspect of the snow is also important. That needs to really reach out even more when it's snowing, for that group warmth and bringing other people in from out of the snow at the same time. So
Yeah.
fantastic. We've run through.
Can I add something more to that? It's sort of
Please do.
in the snow, you're creating challenges. You know, it creates challenges, and those can be very new and very unexpected, which can start you on a whole new cycle. So that's really something, you know, that I needed to say.
Mm.
Absolutely, where the frosty cold temperatures sort of kill off one layer of growth, they also break down the soil ready for the next layer of growth to come through. So, you know, we need those cycles in order for things to move forward, to evolve. So don't give up if you're feeling like it's a snowy day. I guess one of the things for me, the snowy day, you know, when you feel like the mailman can no longer actually get through, or the power lines have come down, and maybe you've been sending out all these communications, but actually none are coming back for the reasons that the snow has sort of blocked that transport, that line of communication. So all of this is just recognizing, you know, reasons do exist outside of our own external ability to control, but what we can control, we can keep actually glowing and growing and feeling that warmth even when the temperatures are cold outside. Fantastic. So we've gone through the weather metaphors. Now just to draw up the weather report. I'm not quite sure how much you can see on the board behind me here in terms of some of the words. The word love has come out an awful lot. This needing to connect to yourself, your own feelings and sentiments, the way you're connecting out and reaching out to the rest of the world, the message you're sharing from your heart and mind, as well as also realizing that we have got people that we're close to that we can rely on for support, as well as that ability to leverage connections that we perhaps haven't got to help us get to the next stage as we move forward. You know, people can act as a bit of a leapfrog, that you can stand on the shoulder of a giant as such. So just to sum up now, what would winning be in the context of getting connected, and how do you plan to win going forward? And perhaps you can also tell us how people could get in touch with you, or what it is that you're up to, should anyone like to get connected to you. Thank you very much. I'll start with Placida. Placida, what's winning?
Okay. My one advice to everyone is build on relationships. You know, we're in the age and time where the word competition is going out of the dictionary. It's more about collaboration. So collaborate with people who are in the same line of business with yourself, because the more you work together with people, you find out what's going on in your industry and you grow better, and they can refer you. So when they have too much business, they will remember you and they can refer business to you. So for all the women out there who are in business, this is not a time to say, she's doing better than me and I don't like her and her colors are too bright. It's not a time to, you know, bitch about anyone. It's a time to get connected. If you see someone who is doing well, get close to them, find out what's their secrets. You know, if you're close to them, honestly close to them, they will share with you. I've had people tell me, this is how I do it, this is the software I use, because I was friendly and I was open, and it's all about growing. There is enough business for everyone in the world. You know, imagine how many billion people we have in the world. There is more than enough business for everyone. So if you begin to connect, where you have your down times and you have your snowy times and the windy times, the people you have built connection with will help you stand back on your feet and help you move forward. So that's it. How you can reach me, you can go on my website, placida@cherry.com, or you can just put my name on the search engine. You'll find all the details about me. I do have a network for women in business called Unleashed Women's Network. And you can find us on Facebook or online on our website. Well, Facebook is good. It's a bubbling group. The women are always there chatting, discussing, and sharing things on how they can develop themselves and grow themselves. Communication is really, really important, and social media has made everything so easy. So people are out there, they want to make friends. They are lonely. Just in case you don't know, I'm telling you, people want people to connect with them. They want friends, true friends. And if you open yourself, you will attract the right people and grow your business and grow your life. And there won't be any snow and there won't be any wind because you won't even notice it. So that's my word.
Thank you. Great one. Nicole, what would be your conclusion in terms of getting connected?
Well, getting connected and winning that getting connected race is learning from what you teach. If you get to the point where you're learning from what you teach, that to me is the ultimate in being connected, because it's a whole circle thing. So where would I like to take that? Well, from a personal point of view, I certainly want to work with groups that are going to connect together. So those connections that aren't already there, the placebo groups, the groups that are working with maybe some of the organisations that are working on global challenges, say the post-development goals for 2015, how do they fit into businesses? How do they fit into people on the ground? How do they fit into Placido's groups, for instance? How do they fit with Gustav? And that's, to me, what the ultimate of getting connected would be to look at how to bring those things together, and that would be a winner because everybody would be connected.
Fantastic. Thank you. And people can find you on LinkedIn should they require your expertise. I know that you're very skilled in helping project manage and develop real results at the end of these big ideas that start off.
That's right. I mean, certainly in South Africa, mostly in the African continent, but certainly over here as well. And it's about supporting young entrepreneurs to make it into their particular chosen field by helping them build more connections. Project management is something that I've done, and I've helped other project managers to move into that sphere. But yes, LinkedIn is my place. That's where you'll find me. And you'll also find me somewhere on Skype if you look really hard.
Thank you very much. And Gaurav, what about you? What's winning for you?
Winning is people trusting with you, working collaboratively with the vision, not working a close-minded vision, working collaboratively, having open-minded, and have a great vision working together. And people can connect with me on student entrepreneurship development, SED, student entrepreneurship development on Facebook, or either Google it. I'll be there.
Fantastic. And in terms of your network in Mumbai, young entrepreneurs can find you there too.
Yeah, my network in Mumbai, yeah, they can find me there, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Gaurav. Emma, what about you? What's winning for you?
Winning for me is having the attitude that you can make your own luck. So whatever the climate of weather, you have to find the positive in it as much as possible, and having the, if you like, the common sense. I think Placida raised it earlier, to take that important time out, to recognise when you need to find kindred spirits. The right mindset of people is always going to build a faster audience than people that have got a very negative attitude. So try and avoid negativity where you can, and when it comes along, address it head on and be nurturing to people, but always give of yourself. And wherever there is change, there is opportunity, and have the courage to be comfortable in your own skin, I think. And I am also on LinkedIn.
Wonderful. Yeah, because I think that's what very first impressed me about you when we first met. Your amazing achievements to that day, but also some of the challenges that you'd overcome in terms of getting there. So thank you very much for being here today and for sharing your valuable insights. What about you, David? What's winning from your point of view?
Winning from my point of view is to stay the humble, ever-learning beginner that I strive to remain. and on the other hand, willing to continue to teach and coach people to achieve their goals and their success and turn their visions down to earth. And on the other hand, being a founder of Achievers Online University, helping people in the mastermind and coaching event next year to mastermind with me. People can friend me at Facebook as David John W. St. Clair. People can use my skills in terms of coaching or mentoring. People can find me at LinkedIn or contact me at Skype as Mindset Master, which is my ID. And just connect with me and check out what I can contribute to their success and personal alignment.
And in terms of your book, where can they find that?
The book is to be found at Amazon called Mindset Masters.
Mindset Masters. I think David's going to find us the link. But that's brilliant.
Disney.
I mean,
It sounds like.
Sorry, David, carry on.
So I can also post the link into the chat roll. It's Mindset Masters Volume 1, Walt Disney Mindset, How to Manifest Visions and Dreams and Solve Problems Like an Expert. Or you can see my other products just looking at Amazon.com at David John St. Clair. There are different CDs and videos at my YouTube channel. You can find me at very different places.
Wonderful. And there's a lot of valuable information to be found there. That's been a wonderful brainstorm. We've used the weather forecast way of thinking and working. Like I say, if anyone would like to know more about the weather forecast, really it's a great way to gain that fresh perspective over any situation. There is an ebook on Amazon. Alternatively, weatherobservatory.com is where you can find out more about that. Otherwise, I will be summarising a lot of this crazy map that we've created behind us, publishing that in a format that makes it slightly more legible for people, and sharing some of the results that have come out of this. I think predominantly what we're saying is that get connected with yourself, get connected with your passion, get connected with your loves, and really find that inner focus that means you then start to radiate out a message that other people instinctively start to respond to. And suddenly you find those like-minded people surrounding you anyway. And by then building in some good connections with those people, developing relationships, rather than just those, surface likes as such, building real friendships from that keep you warm in the snowy times too. Thank you very much, everybody. That's been a really great brainstorm.
My special gratitude to each of you. I feel inspired and enriched, and hope we can connect further.
Absolutely.
Indeed, David. Me too. We must share further thoughts.
Thank you, Celia.
Bye.
Thank you, Celia.
Thank you, Celia, for
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Appreciate everyone's time. Thank you.
Now the problem is I have to find the button to switch it off. But at this point, stop broadcast. There it is.